As women across the country continue to galvanize, a record number are eyeing political bids in this year's midterms. According to a new CBS News poll, most women say it's very important for more women to be elected. 3/4 of female Democrats say it's very important to elect more women, but only 19% of Republican women say the same thing. Joining me now, Ann Murray and Val Montgomery, both running for state legislative seats in Illinois. Congratulations on your decision to run, ladies, and welcome to you both. And I'm going to start with you. You and Val, you were profiled in a Times article about first-time female candidates. Why did you decide to run for office?
You know, I really first got involved at the Women's March last year. It was my first march ever, and it was the first time, I think, after having Obama in office and kind of feeling like things were being taken care of. Yeah. And then, obviously, with the election, I felt like, wow, I should have stepped up more during the last election season. I really need to be getting more involved. I need to pay better attention. One of the favorite things I've seen recently is democracy is a verb. So I approached the year with an idea of what can I do every day. So I didn't set out after the march last year, which was incredible, by the way. I didn't set out to run for office immediately. What I did is I met with my representatives. I met with my state rep. I went to his office hours. I saw how he was approaching issues and how he was approaching the people who were coming to him. And I saw that there was hearing, but maybe not listening. And there wasn't the kind of action being taken that I felt like would lead to real representation. So that was kind of seated in my head. And, you know, at the same time, we were doing a lot of first-time organizing. We organized our march ourselves. We had done a lot of work just every day. I think the way we dealt with our anxiety was, instead of just feeling scared or upset with what was happening, you know, call our representative, follow up. Has he talked about this bill that we care about yet? And really just doing what little we could every day. And there came a day where I could run for a seat. There wasn't someone stepping up to oppose him. And so that person became me. And wow. It was a lot of women and a couple of men who encouraged me to run. And Lauren Underwood, it says in the timepiece, who's running for Congress in the 14th in Illinois, was really the final person who not only encouraged me, but gave me resources and said, this is a bank. This is how you open the bank account. This is how you do your statement of organization. And so when I did that, I turned to Val and said, she's my co-leader. You know, you're in the district next to me, and your guy might run unopposed. You should run too. So our message is just to anyone we meet is, you should run, or you should find someone who can run.
So Val, from what I understand, Ann encouraged you to run, which I'm wondering whether or not she would have done had you guys been in the same district. Putting that aside.
Oh, I absolutely would have. I was looking for I was like, let's step up, and it's not about me. It's about the best representation. And honestly, if there were someone else, if Val wanted to run, I would have been her campaign manager.
Yeah, I definitely would have ran for office. Definitely.
You would have. So Val, do you think that there's a good chance you could win? Do you feel confident about your run?
I feel extremely confident. Oh my gosh, we are mobilizing. Women are coming together. I'm getting calls every day that people are supporting me. I feel so encouraged to do this. I'm grateful. I'm thankful to be running.
Val, what are the major issues that you're running on right now that you're going to campaign on?
Oh God, education is huge for me. I have a special needs child with autism, so keeping public school robust education is so important to me. So building that bridge and putting everything together that's my number one priority.
Have you thought about the platform as to whether or not you're going to be sort of an anti-Trump platform, or whether or not you're just going to be a platform where you're going to talk about the issues that matter most to you? What do you think will resonate more with your voters? Val, first to you, and then Ann, you weigh in.
I think a platform where I listen to what my voters want, and that'd be my platform. Not anti-Trump for me, but definitely listening to my constituents, putting their voice out in the open.
And
yeah, you know, I think that Val's exactly right. We're at a state house. It's not about Trump. Certainly, the conditions of Trump's presidency is what allowed us to realize that we needed to take a bigger role and use our voice to help amplify the voices of people in our district, which currently aren't being heard. So I think that when we're thinking about how we're shaping our campaign, it's all about the local issues, it's about the state issues, and it's especially about things like the environmental protections, about looking at guns as public safety and pushing forward legislation that neither of our representatives showed up to vote for last fall, a major gun bill that the majority of people in our districts, which were suburban Chicago districts, would have wanted supported, but they didn't even bother to show up to vote. So I think those are where our issues are. That's what people care about. The state of Illinois is in a horrible financial mess, and we are familiar, unfortunately, with the government shutdown, the shutdown of critical services. Domestic violence shelters were shut down across the state last year. It got to the point where they were firing staff, and so those issues are what people care about.
Well, listen, I wish both of you an immense amount of luck. It is not easy to run for office, so I wish you all the luck in the world. And it's certainly not easy, as we can see, to work for the government. So good luck with that as well.